Many of my co-travelers, we are all co-travelers on the same path, the path of spiritual advancement to our own true home, which we call Sachkhand, which means true home. Our true home is from where we came, where we belong. When we look around in this world, it doesn't look like that we really belong here. It doesn't look like it because we don't fit in with the kind of things that are happening here. There's too much negativity here. We are not negative people. We are positive people, and we are told to practice something positive. Why are we being told to practice something positive when we are already positive people? The reason is that in each one of us, while we have a human body, we have both a negative entity and a positive entity within our own self. The positive entity is our own soul, our own spirit, our own consciousness, our own reality. The negative entity is our own mind, a thinking apparatus that makes us get tied down to a world outside that is not ours. The mind, being pulled by different senses, is so attached to things outside that even when we are crying and we are feeling so sad with things, when we are disappointed with things, we still run after them. Such is the nature of this negative mind. We live our life through the mind. The mind is merely a machine given to us. The mind is not a reality in the sense that like we are, because we are conscious beings and consciousness is immortal. But the mind has short-lived life. It does not remain as long as the soul or our own reality lies, and therefore we are living in a state in which we are using a machine to identify ourselves and believe that we are the mind. That's a tragedy that we should start considering that just because we have a thinking machine in our head, we should think that we are the mind. But that's what's happening, and that is why we get trapped in this negativity of the mind and hence the negativity of this world. We have to remember that if we look within, if we look and introspect within, we can actually disassociate ourselves from the mind. But before we can do that, we have to wonder whether this physical body of ours has anything to do with our own self. Is the self using the physical body to have an experience in this world? Or is it just an illusion that we have a physical body? What is real and what is illusion? We read the scriptures and they say that the world is illusion. In Indian scriptures, they call it Maya, Mithya. That means unreal, just created. It doesn't look created to none of us. In fact, this is our own reality. When we look at the world, we see it as real. The world is real because we have nothing else to look at. This is our only reality. So we live in a reality which has nothing to compare with anything else. We go to sleep and the reality disappears. And we have dreams at night and we think they are real. But when we wake up, we come back to the same reality, the wakeful state. Is it possible that the wakeful state which we call real is merely another dream? We can explore these things, these questions, whether we are really the mind, whether we are really living in a real world. We can examine these from a quite different perspective, and that is by introspection, by going within our own self. This debate between whether the world outside is real or it is unreal and being created by our mind has been going on for thousands of years. The debate hasn't ended yet. For the simple reason that we have no comparison with any other form of experience or reality. So that is why we take this as real. Those who believe that this world has to be real in order for us to have a sensory experience of this world. We call them the materialists, or those who believe that matter is real and our experiencing it is just an experience created by our sense perceptions, and therefore the world has been there forever. The reality is only this physical world. The world is merely created by our own self. That our sense perceptions, which are creating the experience of the real world, are the only reality. It is the sense perceptions that are creating the reality, and not that anything else exists. That we are creating this universe, we are creating this world, mostly it is because of the experience of pain. They say that if you didn't have pain, it would be very easy to know this is another dream going on. But pain is what creates reality of a physical world. So pain and suffering. The introspection that I suggest is not merely to look at it philosophically or intellectually, but to withdraw your attention. If you can withdraw your attention within yourself and see the mechanics of how this mind works, how these sense perceptions work, and what is behind all these, and who possibly are you in your own real self. If you introspect like that, if you go within yourself like that, you may find a better answer than merely intellectually discussing what is right or what is not right. If you intellectually discuss, it's very difficult to assume that this world is not real and we are making it up. But if we are able to look inside our own self, then we can find out how it is working, how are we having this experience. Some things are very simple, that if we did not have our sense perceptions, if we did not have the power to see, power to hear, power to touch or smell, if we didn't have these perceptions through our senses, we would have no world around ourselves. That's obvious. Nobody has known this world by any other means except through the sense perceptions. The brain sees because we are conscious, we are awake. Supposing we are not awake, supposing we are under anesthesia or we are sleeping and our eyes are open, we don't see. So ultimately, even within the brain, what you see is only when you are awake. If you are not awake, the eyes may be open, you don't see. So ultimately, it is our sense of conscious wakefulness that enables us to see. That consciousness can create an image. It will have the same effect on the brain and will transfer the vibration to the brain. It will then transfer it to the optic nerve. It will then transfer to the back of the eye in the retina, and we will see things exactly as we are seeing now. All of us are trying to find the self, and yet the self is evading us. What an ironic thing, irony, that the very self that is trying to find something is lost in finding something other than itself. So how do we withdraw attention to ourselves? There is a possibility which has been given to us by those who have actually experienced it. People who have experienced the ultimate realization of their own self. Those who have been able to remove themselves from these covers upon the self and have an experience in which they lose the awareness of these covers of the body, of sense perceptions, and the mind, the thinking mind. Those who have been able to pull themselves within by removing the awareness of these covers have been able to find the ultimate experiencer and remove themselves from the experience. Whatever we try to look at is experience, and the one trying to look at it is the experiencer. And they have been able to find the experiencer by removing the awareness of these covers. Let's start from the covers. What are the covers upon us? First of all, the most obvious one is our physical body. We are constantly calling this physical body as the self. We have been given a name by which we are called. Somebody calls us by that name and we immediately answer, that's myself. The physical body is the first cover and the most difficult one to become unaware of. How can we remove this cover? Have you ever noticed that the only part of our awareness which we can move around and place it wherever we like is our attention? And so attention is the movable part that we can maneuver, we can put it where we like. If that is so, we can also put our attention inside our head. That's the first thing, that we have the power to use our attention. Second gift given to us is that we can concentrate it where we like. People have often observed when they are watching a concert and the different musical instruments playing, and you like the drums more than the guitar, and you listen carefully to the drums, guitar becomes very subdued, drums become louder. Nothing has happened there in the musical instruments. It's all your own attention able to enhance the experience of one part and become unaware of the other one. This same thing can be done here if we can concentrate our attention within our head. Then we have a third gift given to us. And all of us have these gifts of attention, concentration of attention. And the third gift is imagination. That we can imagine anything. We can imagine we are sitting on top of this building. We can imagine we are somewhere else. We can imagine anywhere we like. Why not imagine that we are sitting inside the head? Not focused, not put attention on something external to ourselves. Imagining we are sitting there. Now that's a very different process than what we are doing, what we call meditation. To imagine that we are sitting inside the head on the physical body, and that we are living in the physical body, to imagine that and put your attention on imagining that and concentrating it there gives you a feeling of who you are. That's the real process. Now, to make it easy, the easy way to do it is to take this body not as ourself, but as a vehicle, as a house, as a residence in which we live. That makes it easy. That this body, physical body of ours, is a house with many floors, and we are in the head behind the eyes at the 6th level. Now, I could have called it 4th or 5th, but the reason why 6th is easy is because of the energy centers below the eyes. The energy which keeps us alive in this physical body, which keeps us connected with all the experiences around us, these energies are functioning from certain centers, and they are often referred to as the 6 chakras of energy. And these 6 chakras lie below the eyes, ending at the eyes, so it's easy to associate each energy level at the separate level of our house, separate floor of our house. From the ground floor, we can move to floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, and floor 5 and 6. So it's easy for me to use the number 6. So the 6th floor, being at the eye level, the energies that are moving in circuits around in the 6 ones, they do start from the eyes, go down, go complete the circuits and come back to the eyes.